I go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Will and Dave podcast, which is generally every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, live and exclusive on GlacierTV. Now, recently, we've been accused as not being a proper motorsports podcast, not talking about real-life motorsports, instead battling our own egos, instead of talking about the things that really matter in life. Therefore, today's Will and Dave podcast will talk exclusively about motorsports podcasts and nothing else, because after all, we are just a bunch of people that like to go around sucking off other people and just wanting to be part of the crowd. And with that in mind,
Thursday, Raw Thursday. It's Thursday, Raw Thursday. Thursday, Raw Thursday. Thursday, Raw Thursday. It's on Thursday. It's a Will and Dave show on Thursday. We're so professional.
good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thursday, Raw Thursday. Tonight in singles action, Rocky Maivia goes up one-on-one against The Undertaker, and also the Heartbreaker Shawn Michaels will relinquish the WWF Championship. All live tonight on Thursday, Raw Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, Felipe, Valtteri's faster than you, do not hold him up. Valtteri's faster than you, do not hold him up.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thursday, Will and Dave podcast show Thursday, here live on GlacierTV. It's on a Thursday, and there are many reasons why it's on a Thursday. We'll get to that in just a moment's time. However, don't forget, on Twitter, you can follow us at Will and Dave Show. You can find us on Facebook.com/Will and Dave Show. We are available when I can be bothered to put up a decent episode on iTunes by heading over to iTunes and searching for the Will and Dave Show. If you search for something else, you won't find it. You'll find something else, and it's shit instead. Dave, how you doing?
Well, Vincent, I am doing fantastic on a Thursday, Raw Thursday.
Thursday, Raw Thursday. Yep. So we've got some things to talk about. We don't actually know what we're going to talk about yet. However, I've had half a bottle of vodka, and this podcast starts right now.
Well, Vincent, I heard that you almost died today, last year. We might not have had the Will and Dave show. What happened?
Okay, we probably talked about this in IndyCar Bullshit Weekly, because that was the old version of the IndyCar Weekly, and it was shit. However, what happened was, I was on my way back from NUS conference, which, Dave, I want to paint you a picture. Imagine a load of people from student unions, from universities around the country.
Okay.
Now merge that with people wanting to ensure that everyone gets everything that everyone wants to have to do, but at the same time, everyone gets something that they want rather than anything that they want in the whole bigger picture, because at the end of the day, everyone's a sect.
All right.
Okay, so that's what happened. We spent 3 days there. On the final day, I got ridiculously drunk, and this is ridiculously drunk in Will Vincent fashion, not normal Will Vincent drunk.
I didn't know there was any other way, but continue.
To the point that Will Vincent fell asleep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and let's not forget, it is 4 minutes past midnight in the United Kingdom right now, and I'm still awake, so this is fucking paralytically drunk. And I was on a minibus, and there was us and our rival university, because we decided that to save some money, we'd go to this conference together, and we'll come back together. And there was 16 of us in a minibus, and I was the poor fucker that got the seat without any seatbelt. My seatbelt kind of worked. I couldn't plug it in, however. So we were driving down an A road, and just at the point that it became from an A road to a motorway, our right rear tyre exploded.
Oh, God.
And I mean, it exploded. And I went from being asleep to doing a proper WWE, oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! moment, as somehow the driver saved us from spearing into the central reservation, at which point I would have died, and thankfully was able to get ourselves into the hard shoulder of the motorway, which in American term is the expressway, and therefore I survived.
Wow, well, Vincent, that was quite an interesting experience.
Oh
Now,
my god!
had you really done it in true WWF/E fashion,
Yeah, that's
you would
fucking
have had
Joe. No. That was easy dub style.
Well, I was gonna say, if you would have done it Ric Flair style, you would have tapped your head on the seat in front of you and
Woo!
you would have been bleeding profusely from me flicking you in the head.
Yeah, that's only because he fucking blades.
Oh, somebody spit on Ric Flair. Oh, he's bleeding.
Yeah. Talking of that, The Undertaker. Wow.
Well, have you even comprehended what happened at WrestleMania with that particular match and the streak ending?
I've not actually watched that match, to be fair.
Does it hurt your heart?
It really does. I mean, I've been a wrestling fan since God knows what time, and one of the things as well, I mean, my earliest proper wrestling memory was back at, I think it was 2001, so this is later than a lot of the things that we were just joking about, but my first real wrestling memory, when I can remember everything that happened, was the 2001 Royal Rumble, because actually, and the way it worked over in the United Kingdom, was that 15 of the 16 pay-per-views, whatever it was on box office or pay-per-view. One of them was on network TV.
Oh,
And
very nice.
the Royal Rumble was on network TV, which, to be fair, is probably the second best PPV of the year. And I remember Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, hitting Kane in the head with a steel chair, knocking him over the top rope to win the Royal Rumble back in 2001. And that's one of the first things that I remember properly as a full pay-per-view from wrestling, and it's something that sticks with me. But of course, I remember the Undertaker streak before that. I remember a lot of things before that in kind of partial matches. And that's why we did a whole Raw Thursday thing. And it's just weird. The Undertaker's lost now at WrestleMania. Silence. That's exactly what I was expecting. Of course, John Cena. I mean, I remember when John Cena came into the WWE, and he kind of never lost as well for the first couple of years. It's like, okay, Cena's going to be like the new Undertaker, but they're just going to paint him in multiple colors every single WrestleMania and do something stupid with him, and he's never going to lose. And thankfully, he did lose quite a couple of times. I think he's kind of even now at WrestleMania as far as it goes. But on a serious note, we have to, I think, as part of the Will and Dave show, kind of show our respects, Dave, because the Ultimate Warrior did actually lose his life on Tuesday of this past weekend. As far as WWE and all that shit goes, everyone kind of has heroes when they grow up with themselves. And for anyone who kind of was about the same age as me, or perhaps a couple of years older, the Ultimate Warrior is fucking awesome.
Amen, brother.
So, at this moment in time, we'd like to take just a moment of time to show our appreciation for the Ultimate Warrior, who died this past Tuesday. And let's not forget, this is after just being inducted into WWE Hall of Fame, appearing on WrestleMania, and then appearing on Monday Night Raw, literally 3 days ago. Lost his life for a suspected heart attack on Tuesday this past week. So, that's WWE out of the way. What's next?
Let's get a little more upbeat. Let's talk about Andrew King and his Connecticut Huskies.
Am I going to have to explain what this new Glacier TV Will and Dave show overlay is?
Well, for some of the fans that know, Andrew King is a contributor to the show. He's usually the guy playing the "That's Racist" clips, or
we'll do it live. Fuck it.
That's right. And he went to UConn for college, and so he had the opportunity to watch his college team, not only men's but also women's team, win their respective national championships in college basketball. And I think these two pictures pretty much sum up his emotions for the tournament.
My emotions for the tournament is kind of
tension.
like, what the fuck did I do not betting on them? Because I could have bet $2 and have had enough money to kind of come over to the United States and come to Mid-Ohio. So I'd have been in the US 3 times this year, which would have made me officially a drug dealer.
Well, when are you going to just get it over with and just move to America?
When I find someone who's hot and not inbred to bang. Simple as that.
Speaking of inbred and hot to bang, Justin Petschauer's here. Hi, Justin.
Goodbye.
What?
Goodbye indeed.
Did he know he was getting booted?
I probably think he does. Well, we're going to start our motorsports talk for this week, because there are a couple of things that we need to talk about. Should we start with NASCAR?
No, let's talk about the best race that's happened in several years, the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Okay, it's not the best race that's happened. Okay, since Valencia in 2010, I think it was. Is it 2010 that race, or 2012, or what? I can't remember. The one we had Webber flip over, Alonso have his incidents, and Hamilton and everyone else. I think it was 2012.
Yeah, I don't know that was a great race, but well, I would say any of the Brazilian Grand Prix for the last couple years were better than that.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Overall, what a great race by everyone. And I think the thing that sticks out for me is that Mercedes allowed their drivers to race. Now, there are some people who are a little bit controversial and say, did they really allow them to race? But the way you saw Nico and Hamilton go to wheel for about 4 laps in a row, that's the sort of racing that brings the kind of IndyCar smile back to my face. And I don't get that IndyCar smile very often, even in IndyCar at some point. And after that restart, that race made me smile. And that is everything that is wrong about team orders summed up in 5 laps of racing between those two Mercedes drivers.
Amen. They just Paddy Lowe got on the radio and told each driver the exact same thing. Bring the cars home. Don't wreck them.
Now,
and that's it.
The Sky Sports F1 team was saying that actually was team orders. And then you had the BBC F1 team say exactly the same thing. Now, over on NBCSN, good old fucking, what's his face? What's his name again? I've forgotten his name. Lee Diffie. Lee Diffie actually had, the unbiasedness to actually call it as it was. I was like, yeah, okay, these guys are going to go racing, but for how long? And yes, kind of Rosberg did fall back those last 5 laps, but those 5 laps they had of racing, I mean, I think it really was the case of, well, Rosberg didn't get in front, and therefore he decided at the end of the day he had to fall back, rather than potentially wreck those 2 cars, because there was aggressive driving there. And let's be honest, in turn 4 and 5, Hamilton did kind of push Rosberg out to the grass. Well, I say grass, gravel, dirt, sand, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're Hamilton or whoever else is in the lead in that position, you're pushing the guy as far out as you possibly can to. Let's not kid ourselves. I think if Rosberg was in the same position, he'd be doing the same thing, and I believe that he probably did. But Hamilton actually at one point was clever enough to do the over/under instead of trying to follow him around the outside. So glad to see Mercedes let the guys race. Allegedly. It was nice to see the Williams up front, battling for podium position. Great job Force India getting on the podium. What really stuck out in my mind was the mighty Ferrari. Luca Di Montezemolo walking away and turning away in disgust because Alonso gets on the radio and says, "We don't have the power to deal with Force India."
Wow.
I don't know. Will Buxton was able to catch up with Luca Di Montezemolo, and he asked him point blank, "Is this too hard to watch, or do you have an early flight?" And Di Montezemolo said, "Well, a little of both. We know what we need to work on, and we need to hurry up and do it, because I'm not going to stand for my 2 world champion drivers battling for 9th and 10th.
I think Will Buxton made a stupid question there, because let's be honest, the president of Ferrari having an early or later flight, he owns his own fucking plane. He owns one of the most fucking important commodities in all of motorsports. He can fly wherever he wants, whenever he wants to. He will leave whenever he wants to. But yeah, and Alonso came in P9, and Kimi Raikkonen came in P10. And as far as I'm concerned, the Force Indias are literally just chucking in tikka masala powder into their fuel tank just to make themselves faster in the braking. I will not go into any kind of xenophobic comment there at all, but
What are you talking about?
piece it together, you'll figure out what I mean. Go and write it down, piece it together, figure out what I mean. But the Force Indians did do a good job again, being P3 for Sergio Perez. I think that's actually the second podium that Force India have had in their entire time of Formula 1, which actually is the only one apart from my favourite F1 driver of all time, Giancarlo Fisichella, who got a podium a number of years ago now. And then Nico Hülkenberg got himself a P5. But out front, Mercedes, once again, fucking dominant.
Yes, they were, and it's nice to see. I mean, Mercedes did their homework. They built a car around the engine. They got the innovative split turbo that no one else has. And I'm so glad that it's not Red Bull up front. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it's just one team right now. But you get that sometimes. Look at the Pro Senna days. What was it? 88? That particular McLaren chassis won 15 to 16 races between the two drivers. I mean, as long as the two of them can battle each other all season, I don't care really what happens. As long as it's competitive every week, or every other week, or whenever they run, that's all I'm asking for. And you know what? Sometimes the battle for P3 can be just as interesting, if not more interesting, because third place actually means something, in Formula One, unlike, in American sports where it's win or nothing.
Don't wanna be an American idiot. One nation controlled by the media. As far as that 1988 McLaren goes, do you know the only reason why they didn't win all 16 races?
Why was that?
Because of the fact that one of the McLarens, I believe, blew up. The other one decided to crash into a lap car, and the one who crashed into a lap car was Ayrton Senna.
Well, let's be honest. Kind of not a surprise that Senna hit somebody.
Oh God!
I mean, he was pushing the limits all the time, and he probably was just like, "Oh, I got this." Oh, no, I don't.
When you no longer go for a gap, you are no longer a racer," said Brandon Trost.
I'm surprised Brandon Trost hasn't attempted to join us yet.
It's past his bedtime.
We know he's listening. It's past his bedtime.
It's past his bedtime on Thursday. Raw Thursday.
7:17 p.m. Eastern on a Thursday.
Yeah. He needs to get to bed before prime time. He doesn't want to hear the word shit.
Let's be honest. Well, I don't know about in Britain, but in America, they still are not allowed to drop the S-bomb on network or over-the-air television.
Am I right that they can't do it on network before 10 p.m., but on cable it's before 9 p.m.?
I don't know the specifics.
But you know I'm right.
What? No, not necessarily, because on BBC America, when they show Top Gear and they say shit...
They don't say shit on Top Gear in America, because they can't say shit in the UK, because the show's on at 8 p.m. on a Sunday. And you can't say shit on the day that everyone goes to pray for the little baby Jesus.
I've heard it at other times before 9 p.m. Eastern. Andrew King is here!
Andrew King is here! Oh my God, it is our savior! Ladies and gentlemen! Introducing, into me, a fan of the NCAA March Madness, Andrew King!
What the?
Andrew, who took these pictures of you that we have on the podcast?
Me, I'm so hungry.
You take pictures of yourself?
Yes, I did.
It wasn't even like your wife, or you didn't give the iPhone to your kids or something?
Well, the one of me like jumping through the air, that was my wife, but everything else was me because my wife went to sleep.
And
sounds like your kids are still excited about UConn winning double national championships.
And you find this out live, exclusively, on Thursday! Raw Thursday!
Thursday, Raw Thursday.
Thursday! Raw Thursday! Thursday! Raw Thursday!
I don't know what that means to play it down. What does that mean?
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight, in tag team action, Rocky Malvia and Stone Cold Steve Austin go one-on-one with a nation of domination!
What the fuck was that?
Wow.
It just plunged it right into the front of me. What?
We are off the tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew King comes and boom, derailed.
Okay, so that Mercedes thing we were talking about just a moment ago, Dave.
Oh, by the way, Mercedes has dominated Formula One.
But
And
no,
that's racist.
let's go back to when Braun GB bought out Honda. You had a rules change package, they dominated. Mercedes are dominating right now. Can they do the championship, or are they going to have the same situation that Braun GP had back in the day?
This is Mercedes we're talking about. You know, Braun just got really lucky to have the perfect engine, perfect aero combination with the double diffuser, which other teams didn't have and couldn't figure out till later in the season. They were too busy trying to protest it instead of trying to make it work. And they just won so much that they were able to just kind of carry that through the rest of the season.
This season they're kind of more busy about claiming their penis is illegal.
Don't ever give up.
I don't see how anybody's going to catch Mercedes right now, not even the Mercedes customer engine teams. I mean, if you're Williams, what was it? They still won by like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
over the rest of the field.
After that restart, it was just horrific. It was like, okay, 2 laps after the restart, and it's a 4-second gap between Mercedes and Williams.
Hamilton and Rosberg are racing each other for the win, and they still were gaining 1.5 seconds a lap over the field on average.
Yeah, that's stupid. And this is the thing as well. Mercedes is one of the only cars that doesn't have a penis or a vagina.
Oh, that's true.
So basically, what we're trying to say is robots are faster than genitalia.
Moving on.
That's perfect.
That's the kind of professional, on-air, in-depth knowledge you learn on the Will and Dave Show live, whatever time, whatever
Which is
place.
a real podcast about real motorsports. So anyone who thinks that we're not, go fuck yourself. So,
Danger zone.
We're talking about NASCAR now.
Red Bull scored themselves some points. Finally, after Ricciardo's penalty at Australia, which is of course still to be reviewed.
Sebastian Daniel is faster than you. Don't hold him up.
How does that feel for Sebastian Vettel? The fact that in the only races he's finished this year, Ricciardo has finished higher than him. And also, Ricciardo, if he gets those points back, he's ahead of him. If he doesn't get those points back, Ricciardo's ahead of him in the championship. Ricciardo right now is doing everything that Webber wished he could have done those X number of years there at Red Bull.
Well, this plays right into your, anybody could have been in the Red Bull in the last couple of years and won the championship, because I know you're such a huge Vettel fan. But, I mean, Vettel and Ricciardo have the same car. Vettel can't figure it out, and Ricciardo can put it into, P3, qualify in the top 10, top 5. Vettel's back there mired in 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yeah, he didn't even get into Q3 this last race.
No, he did not.
By the way, about Mark Webber, he, of course, was a Jaguar racing driver back in the day. Did I ever tell you that he came to our school?
Yes, you did.
Oh. So that is how long Webber was at Red Bull. And I think, actually, that injection of Ricciardo into Red Bull has done exactly the same thing that Vettel did for Red Bull back when Webber was the number 1 driver back in the day. And I think Vettel right now deserves to be scared shitless, because Ricciardo, let's be honest, he was a great driver over at Toro Rosso. He's an amazing driver now. He's in a Red Bull car. And I think he's almost got Mika capabilities. He can take a car that's not always good and occasionally get some really good results with it. And I think that everyone remembers the Alonso Hamilton split. I think we could have a Vettel-Ricciardo split at some point soon. The only issue is, I don't think Vettel can come on top of this one. And this is why I really do think that next year Vettel will be in a Ferrari.
Yeah, that's always kind of been where, the rumors tend to point, Mr. Vettel is going to Ferrari, and then they keep saying that Alonso's going to go to McLaren, and I mean, Jenson Button's kind of getting long in the tooth, isn't he? And Magnussen's holding his weight so far. Jenson Button.
Oh, you mean the one guy who won a world championship in a car that was dominant from everyone else and wasn't able to do anything else in his career?
Very long teeth.
This is coming from a Brit. What has Button done in his career? He won a couple of wet races. He was able to be good in a car that was dominant and then almost choked in the process.
No, Will, you just throw, he won some wet races, like that's nothing.
Hungary. That one race he won at Hungary, the only reason why he won that is because that car was set up to run in the wet weather when everyone else was banking on it getting dry at some point in the
What
race.
about in
Dave, let me put it
Canada?
this way. Let me put it this way.
Canada! Yeah, okay, that was a good race. And that's one race out of
He
how
came
many?
from the back of the
250
field
fucking plus
twice.
races now for Button.
Let's put it
Don't
this
be-
way. I've got a better winning percentage in iRacing than Jensen Button does in F1.
Oh, come on! You're gonna
Look
compare
it up.
iRacing? You're gonna compare
Look it up.
iRacing to Formula One,
Look it
Andrew
up.
King? Are you
I'm
still drunk
almost-
for the tournament? Andrew
what?
King, did you have too many beers with your dinner
Okay, what's
tonight?
your winning percentage in the Williams FW31 compared to runners in the F1 World Championship?
Does
I'm
Formula
0 for
Fun
0.
count?
Ah, do you remember Formula Fun? That was
Yeah,
just
why did
awesome.
they get rid? Why did they get rid of Formula
Because
Fun
no one
on
run
iRacing?
it.
But it was just like Carb Cup.
It was Carb Cup, but you'd only ever won at Okayama and Silverstone. And it was like, let's be honest, no one likes running at Okayama, and Silverstone's a challenging racetrack.
Well, maybe they should have switched up the Carb Cup and the Formula Fun tracks just for fun.
What, you mean you'd have the F1 car running at Talladega and Daytona and Charlotte, and you'd have the
Well-
NASCAR running at Silverstone?
Yeah, just like in the IndyCar.
Well, speaking of crappy schedules, who in the hell decided on the IndyCar schedule for iRacing for next season?
Well, okay, I don't have any issue with that. I'm going to disagree with you here on this, because the main issue is Texas, but the issue is that Texas is in line with the real life series. So why can't we run this Texas this one season, then chop it for 3 seasons a year, and run it the season that it's actually on?
I think the real issue is that the community was kind of taking a vote of what tracks they wanted, yada, 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 and one person decided that they were going to one person just decided... One person, I'm not going to say who it is, because it would be speculation.
Stay in the house.
Rhymes with Brandon Trost.
No, I don't know. It wasn't him. Sent in a schedule unilaterally, and for whatever reason, iRacing said, "Yep, that'll do."
Okay, let's go into the root of the problem. We all agree on 10, maybe 11 of the tracks. We agree?
I agree.
So that 12th track generally comes down to Texas or
Talladega.
Richmond or New Hampshire. Oh yeah, something bullshit like Darlington or Talladega, etc. Now, on a season when Texas is in a real life schedule, tell me that we shouldn't be running Texas.
We should absolutely run the real tracks when they come up on the real schedule.
Okay, so next season
When
we can get rid of
available.
Texas. Agreed?
Yes.
And next season, the season where we get the DW12. When actually we should probably be running Texas, let's be honest.
Well, if they, on certain assumptions, if they have a better tire model, 1. 2, if they give the same kind of aero, package that they actually use at Texas, where you actually have to drive the car and it's not just stuck to the track the whole time, then amen, put Texas in there twice if you want, because you actually have to drive the car.
Right.
Well, I wonder-
My
I
issue.
wonder if there's
Shut up,
a-
King. I'm talking.
Oh, come on. This is a real point.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. You talk and then I'll talk.
Okay, so in the real world, they only have limited amounts of testing. In our world, we have unlimited, essentially, testing. What if we're doing a better job of testing, getting down to, the core issues, and really in the real world with IndyCar, they just don't have that amount of time, so they can't figure it out.
No, I disagree, because let's be honest, if we were doing a better job, then what we'd do is we'd have partnerships with real life IndyCar teams right now, and the only ones, I mean, there's only 1.25 teams that actually have a relationship with their IndyCar teams. The issue is that the setups on iRacing literally are, there's only one way to do a setup, and everyone's setups, I think, within about 5% of each other's, partially because it's like monkeys writing Shakespeare. If you get monkeys writing Shakespeare long enough, then you're going to come up with the same thing. If you have people just hitting buttons on a setup, eventually going to come up with a similar thing. And let's be honest, most of these setups kind of come from 1, 2, maybe 3 sources, so that everyone knows kind of what their base is. All they're doing is they're button bashing to get to where they need to be. So it's actually not an issue with the testing, in my opinion. It's more of an issue with the flaws on aerodynamics, and again, as Dave, you just said, the flaws in tyre modeling.
Yeah, and plus the car really hasn't had any development, which is expected, since why put any more iRacing development time in a car that's not going to really exist anymore. So you're just kind of, the only thing that really changes from season to season now is the weather. And I'm not a setup guy, but from what I hear, it really only takes a couple tweaks here and there, adjusting for the wind conditions. And exactly, just
aero
a
and
little aero
roll bars
adjustment.
is the way I do it, essentially. And on occasion, I would do a tiny bit of the springs, depending on what is going on with the car itself. Now, I know some
Can you
people
tell me
are
what the
going into a lot more
weight jacker does?
detail.
Scott Goodyear.
No, because he didn't mention it. I've forgotten what it means. I won't find out now until the month of May.
That's true, because NBCSN covers the
The Diffie's God Long Beach Grand Prix.
Why do you have such a thing for... God dang it, I can't talk.
Because he can
King.
commentate, that's the issue. Lee Diffie's one of only about 4 people in America that know how to commentate as a lead commentator.
Who are the other 3?
Alan Bestwick on his day. Then I would add in Rick Allen to that. I would, of course, add in what's-his-face. He used to do F1 for Speed. And
Bob Varsha?
Yeah, Bob Varsha, because Bob Varsha is a god. And then I would probably add in the guy who does Supercross, motocross, Monster Energy Supercross, whatever it's called.
Oh,
What's his face? Him. Yeah, him.
Black hair guy, right?
Yes, him.
Yeah, god dang it. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't think of him.
We'll find out. Someone will probably post it on YouTube in a couple of moments' time. But, yeah. And my big issue right now, of course, is if the DW12 doesn't come out at this season, then what happens if it doesn't come out at the start of next season, at which point my Indy 500 is due to run on week 13. I think, no, it's due to run on week 12 right now. End of week 12. It's the end of week 12, season 2.
Ralph Shaheen was the person we were looking for.
That's the one. Yeah, my Indy 500 used to run on week 12 of season 2. Now, we all know that they're trying to get the IndyCar out for the start of the Indy 500. If they miss that, they don't bother to bring it out until season 3, then I'm fucked as well.
Why is this, Mr. Vincent?
Because of the fact that my Indy 500 is in July, but it's before the 2014 season 3 build.
Oh, well,
and seeing as my Indy 500 is the most realistic Indy 500 in the all of sim racing, I demand that we get the IndyCar out in time.
Well, Vincent, this is where you're supposed to say yes.
Yes.
Can you tell the folks who may not be on iRacing how they can get involved in the most realistic Indy 500 presented by the ISOWC in July?
Of course. If you head over to iRacing.com right now, you can join iRacing with over 45,000 members worldwide and start your membership for as little as just $6. There are 50% off memberships for 1 month, 3 month, 1 year and 2-year memberships, and you can join the massively multiplayer online racing service known as iRacing.com. And if you're an IndyCar fan, you can head over to isowc.org and join the world's most realistic IndyCar series running on both road courses and ovals, which of course includes the premier event itself, the ISOWC Indianapolis 500, taking place on the 27th of July 2014.
Well, Vincent, who is leading the ISOWC standings after 2 races?
Is it 2 races?
Yeah, because you had Homestead and Sebring.
Oh yeah, that's it, isn't it? I don't know.
And then you have Long Beach this weekend.
I have no idea. Who is it?
What happened in the Sebring race? Because I was unable to attend.
Sebring race is a bit of clusterfuck in the end. How some people just think are just crashing into each other. I think Michael Dinkel's the overall leader right now. And that's the whole thing that generally the road guys can hold their own on oval. Sometimes the oval guys can't hold their own on road.
So it was just a big cluster and Mr. Dinkel came out on top.
Yeah, Trainer came second, Peterson third, Robert Grosser fourth, Michael De Jong in fifth, Iswan Balau, Timo Aiden Somme, Michael Menard, Brendan Lichtenberg, and Tim Miller round out your top 10.
What happened to Mr. Matt Cook, 16th Street League champion?
He crashed.
Aww. Still hasn't quite got it all down yet. down the
Well,
road.
of course, let's not forget at Sebring in the 16 Street Racing League, he hit Courtney Terrell.
Yes, this is true.
See?
But then again, that was his very first, road course in an IndyCar.
Well, Michael Schumacher struggled to win at Austria for something like 10 years.
That's true. I guess all the greats have that one Achilles heel.
Yep, they do indeed. And should we finish about Formula 1? Have we got anything else to talk about Formula 1? Nope, no, let's move on. NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt setting himself on fire.
Yeah, watching that replay a couple times, I think Almirola was thinking about looking inside of the car in front of him. I think it was Biffle, and Junior just was staring right at the car in front of him. He's like, "Well, I'll go down there too," and doink.
Passing the grass.
Well, this is
He ripped out about 57 pounds worth of grass and slammed himself right into the wall. And man, that mud and stuff was so heavy it caved in Jimmy Johnson's windshield a little bit.
This isn't the first time though we've had issues with cars running on the kind of tri-oval. Was it Charlotte in the All-Star race we had the issue? We've seen it at Daytona once or twice before when cars. And I remember the one when the guy won the race and then fucking wrecked his car.
Carl Edwards.
Carl Edwards on his way to Victory Road in the All-Star race.
Because it poured rain the night before or something like
It's
that.
funny how this disenchanted voice keeps giving us information.
I know. Who is this guy?
I don't know. It's not Justin Petchower.
No, it's not. It's Brooke Westphal. Hey, Dave, can you do me a favor? Can you talk to Brooks for 75 seconds?
Well, this Will Vincent piss break is brought to you by Coca-Cola. I don't know. Brooks!
Dave!
So, what's your view, your take, your whatever on the Dale Jr. wreck? Was he just following Almirola, saw him go, duck a little to the left, and he figured I'll go there too, and didn't see the grass, or...
It was netcode.
Okay, Ray Kingsbury, moving on. How about Kevin Harvick's horrible string of luck? That guy can't win
you're
for
a
losing.
Kevin Harvick fan, and as a Mark Martin fan, it is natural to hate Kevin Harvick.
Why? Because he won the Daytona 500 in 2007 over...
And I was there.
Oh, were you really?
Yep, I was like 9 years old too.
Were you, crying? It's
I
okay, you were
almost.
9.
Almost. I
Are you
just
talking about
stared
the
in
Undertaker
disbelief.
again or what?
That was a fast 75 seconds, Will.
I know.
Brooks was telling us about how, since he's a Mark Martin fan, he hates Kevin Harvick because Harvick ripped out Brooks's 9-year-old heart at the Daytona 500 because he was there to watch Mark Martin finish second.
I was there. Well, I feel bad for Mark Martin, but at the same time, he never got the job done.
No,
True,
he didn't.
but-
He had plenty of opportunities. He never took them.
Also, but in 1990, he got screwed out of the championship.
Yeah,
He did. But at the same time, he would have retired in 2005, 2006 if he would have won the championship. He stayed in NASCAR to win a championship. That's why he went back to Hendrick in 2009.
True story.
We talk about in Formula 1. I think it's Dan Gurney, the greatest driver ever to win, never to win a race. I think Mark Martin's the greatest driver never to win the Daytona 500 or the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
He's the Dan Marino of NASCAR.
Yeah, he is.
Yep, that's a pretty apt comparison.
So, as far as that race goes, and I mean, it was kind of funny yet weird what happened to Junior. And it seems to be this race was a race of people who's won a race having a bit of a curse among them.
Yeah, Harvick's been cursed all season except for Phoenix. I mean, he's had a problem in every single race that he hasn't won.
And how many people? It was like 41 drivers finished that race.
You win and you're in. That's all that matters, Dave.
I mean, take away 2 people who's won races this season. Junior, who was leading the championship at one point after 3 races. Take away Harvick, who won at Phoenix. They're the 2 people who were tied from this race. And for once, NASCAR on Fox actually made a good comment. There are no real starting parkers anymore. So, you've got to stay in the top 30 in the championship. I'm not going to say that Junebug's got the issue. Maybe Harvick does. If his bad luck continues, you've got to make sure you've got enough points to keep that win legitimate.
I think if you're a driver, you shouldn't worry. I mean, you should worry, obviously, about points because it's a long 26 races until the chase starts, but everybody goes through a string of bad luck, whether it's 2 races or 20 races, but personally, myself, I don't think you should worry about the whole points issue until after the All-Star race or after the Coke 600, because it's just, you still are trying to figure out everything. He's with the new team and everything, and he's just trying to kind of get it warmed up a little bit, in my mind.
So in other words, Dave, don't worry about the championship until Fox stop broadcasting.
Good point.
TNT.
Yeah.
And
I'm telling you, these guys are lucky that Harvick's had so many problems. He's been so fast every single week. You know, it's been issues pretty much outside of their control. But if Harvick was able to win 2 or 3 races already, he'd have been a lock to at least get through the first session of the chase when it started with with all them bonus points.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that people have forgotten about. Yes, it's one and you're in, but actually win multiple races and you'll get through that first phase. And that essentially means when you get to the Geico 400 at Chicagoland, yeah, do whatever you want to do. Be risky. And that is going to be the thing in the chase. You've got to be risky. Get yourself a win. And how many times did the Geico 400 come down to fuel mileage?
God, I think 2 of the last 3 seasons.
So that race, be risky. And then get that one out of the way. Then play your cards at Talladega. Get yourself that one. Oh, look at that. You're pretty much in the final segment.
Yeah, because the way the chase rules are now, you win any of the first 3 races in a segment,
And
you're automatically into the next round.
So, if I was anyone, I mean, you can almost concentrate on 1.5 miles, set yourself up for Homestead. So, you know, if I was anyone, I'd win Chicagoland. Then, yeah, I'll bet my bets on Talladega, but also think about Charlotte, get that one out of the way, then think about Homestead. Because when it comes to the second Texas race, I won't be caring. I'll be thinking about how I'm going to set my car up for a 1.5 mile racetrack. When it comes to Phoenix, I'll be thinking, well, this guy I don't like in the championship. Let's race him deliberately hard. Fuck him up on strategy.
Guys, we thought that Richmond was controversial last year. If somebody hasn't won yet when we get to Richmond and they got a chance to win that race and they're in the chase, what kind of shenanigans are we going to see this time?
I'll tell you what, we're going to see those shenanigans on Saturday night, let's be honest.
You know what would be hilarious? If there was like a caution with like 4 laps to go at Richmond and everyone went to pit except like the Landon Castles and all like the 7 backmarker teams and like they're the first 7 cars on track and they all just block. All right, guys, we'll split some of the chase money. We'll all help each other. Let's just make sure like Landon Castle gets in the chase and he'll, split some money with us. and they just go 6 wide behind Landon Castle, going 20 miles an hour slower than everybody else. And Landon fucking Castle
for that,
gets in the
going
chase.
Too slowly. Minimum speed exists in NASCAR, you know.
That's true, but for 2 laps, I mean, they could be a rolling roadblock. Imagine if Landon Castle in the 40 car gets into chase.
Oh my god.
Or what if there's a huge wreck at Talladega or Daytona this year and there's like 3 cars left and one of those guys wins the thing?
Guys who lose the draft, like Joe Nemechek, Timmy Hill, all them.
Yeah, Timmy Hill in the chase!
Oh my god.
iRacing Zone Timmy Hill could be in the chase. Well, you gotta be in the top 30 though.
Yeah, true. He doesn't run full time, does he?
You know what? That's the thing with Danica, Patrick. Even if she's able to win a restrictor plate race, she's not going to make the top 30 in points.
Nope. Because she'll just get dumped every single race that she's running in the top 25. And that's only 4 races a year.
That'd be hilarious if she won a race and all these guys are like, no, we're not doing this. Everyone take turns just wrecking her every week.
They like have a bet table. Like all the pit crew guys have a bet table of when she's going to get wrecked.
Well, from one lady to another,
like pit crew guys
Shut
running
up,
out.
Dave, I'm talking.
No!
From one lady to another, we are going to the Lady in Black this weekend. And of course, this is a track that Danica finished, 6 laps down?
How does she finish like 3-4 laps down every single week?
I have no idea.
She's slow.
Yeah, but she doesn't even have
That's
damage.
Yeah, let's be honest. At Texas, in IndyCar, she was okay.
Well,
it's an
it's a
IndyCar.
Brandon Trost track.
She got 2nd place in Texas in an IndyCar.
As soon as she said Brandon Truex track, Will Vincent could not complete the sentence without laughing.
But yeah, we're going to the Lady in Black, and I think of all the races so far this season, this is going to be one of the most controversial moment. And let's not forget what happened in 2011.
Oh, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was Regan's. Was it? Oh yeah, when Rowdy spun him.
Yep.
I was there for that one too, as a matter of fact.
Go to a lot of races now, don't you?
I know.
You gotta get it done. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Overall, coverage this season has been shit.
That's because Fox has been putting in commercials every chance they get. Hashtag how do you KFC?
And also, I mean, what is this the second race this season? That's what? No, it's what 3 races now this season that's had rain delays.
Yeah, let's see, Daytona, Texas, and Bristol.
Yeah. So I mean, this is
the Bat 500.
This isn't good overall, as far as I'm concerned, because all it does is it pisses off NASCAR fans that their little baby Jesus doesn't want them to run at the time they want them to run.
And it's going on Fox
People
Sports
need to
1,
go.
Speed Vision.
Basically, whoever does the invocation for Darlington needs to start his invocation with, "Dear Almighty Savior Lord Jesus Christ, please keep the rain away today."
Well, Vincent, we have breaking news about Sean Siff, if you haven't read.
Mr.
John
Turkey's
Siff.
up.
He's leaving iRacing,
What the
effective tomorrow.
What the fuck?
Shall I read his post on the forum?
We need dramatic music, Will.
No, we don't need dramatic music, because Sean is one of my favourite people on iRacing.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to make a brief announcement. After the 5 best years of my life and the 5 best years of my professional career, I am leaving the employment of iRacing effective tomorrow. In case you're concerned with me observing professional decorum, I gave 2 weeks' notice 2 weeks ago. So what does that mean for you? Not a whole heck of a lot, except that it gives me an opportunity to say a few things. I've really enjoyed my work here at iRacing because I was working for all of you. Yes, even those of you who don't always say positive things to us. That is fine, by the way, as it helps us to learn what issues are most important. In other words, you all help us improve the service by helping us build better features, plan better racing events, and license exciting content. I know some companies that pay a lot of money to learn what their customers want. Here, we can listen and talk with you about it. Thank you. Thank you for supporting this great community and company so that I could work here. Thank you for watching the videos we've created for your entertainment and for interacting with us on our social media feeds. When I began here, we had fewer than 3,000 members, and the first version of Daytona had just come out along with the Riley DP prototype. I know that some of you have been here even longer than me. Nonetheless, it has been a real pleasure to be part of the growth with you. I have only met a handful of you at shows and racetrack, but I've enjoyed our conversations. Your passion for iRacing is infectious, and I appreciate you holding us to a very high standard. I can't discuss our future plans, but there are some great things coming on the iRacing horizon. When will they get here? Soon. I'm really going to miss working with the marketing department. We get to do the fun stuff around here. You should all know that iRacing is fortunate to have an incredibly talented staff that allows us to build and maintain this world online. It is a very complex world, and there are employees here that spend hours doing the very important work but don't get any glory that we've accustomed to in marketing. These guys keep the site running, whether they're up at 3 or 4 in the morning if we encounter an issue, or if they're helping a member with a support issue. They just don't get any glory, but they deserve it. Once I get my gaming computer together, I'll be joining you as a member. I'm looking forward to becoming a member, and I'll always be a fanboy, and I'll always be biased. It's been a privilege to serve this community and this company. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. I look forward to seeing you on track. If you'd like to stay in touch, follow Sean Siff at Sean Siff on Twitter.
Mr. Turkey
Sean,
Sub.
we'll miss you, buddy. Mr. Turkey Sub is leaving.
Wow.
With a hole in our hearts.
So, who's Shannon Whitmore going to take the piss out of next?
Whoever eats turkey sandwiches or inappropriate food.
This weekend for NIS, I'm putting on the back bumper of my car, "Rest in peace, Turkey."
Can everyone please run a turkey livery this weekend in the NIS in some way, shape, or form?
I'm just going to make a turkey sandwich car.
Yes.
Just the top's going to be the bread.
Yes. Sean, in all seriousness, we'll miss you. I've talked to him a couple of times, and he helped send me some stuff for the iRacing racer gathering that we had at Mid-Ohio last year that I was able to give some, promotional codes and hats and shirts away, and I really appreciated him doing that for us. And Sean, thank you for helping all of us in iRacing, and I'm sure, you were able to deal with him and know him a little bit better than I did, so what would you like to say? about Mr. Turkey Sub.
I could go on all day. And of course, I first met Sean at 2011 in Autosport International, which is, of course, our biggest trade fair in the UK for motorsports. And it's crazy because Sean's actually just one of the good guys. And he always has been one of the good guys. And to demonstrate that, he was one of the guys that actually pushed iRacing to give us the iRacing.com Pocono 400 last year. Yeah. Now, yes, that race wasn't as big or successful as Indianapolis was, but it was still a great race. And he actually listened to not only me, but members of the community about how that race should have been run. The things like the 4-lap average qualifying over the I rating, for example, and making sure that, it was run to the right number of laps and all that sort of stuff. Sean's always been a good guy and he always will be a good guy. And of all the people I know on iRacing, he's the one person that I know I could call up and just have fun with. And I still got his business card in my wallet, to be fair, that he gave me from 2011, because I knew that if there's something I need to talk about, he'd be there to just literally chat about it. And it's sad because Sean's a great guy and he always will be a great guy. And I think he will be missed, if for no other reason about the fact that every sandwich shop in the entirety of Connecticut is gonna suffer now.
Amen, brother.
So, where were we?
Brother. I don't know, Will. After that, how can we continue?
I don't know. We've got 9 minutes left of the podcast, and I've got to go to bed. And we talked about NASCAR. Kyle Larson. That guy is impressing me more and more every week.
It's not a matter of if, but when he's going to win his first Cup race, and it's going to be this season. I mean, it really goes to show you how much, unfortunately, Juan Pablo Montoya was handicapping that 42 team the last couple of seasons.
Well, the thing is, it's like, if you're going to compare Larson to anyone, who are you going to compare him to?
God, he's kind of like how Jeff Gordon was when Gordon came in, with the sprint car, background, was looking at Indy cars, but now he's in NASCAR and he's setting the world on fire like right as he comes in. I mean, you look at Jeff Gordon, he almost won the Daytona 500 his first time out. Yeah, he didn't really have a really good rookie season. He crashed a lot, but man, once he got that out of the way, there was no stopping him. And really, I think Kyle Larson's at or above that level already.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a mustache.
He doesn't. And the issue is, of course, is that NASCAR and Fox, especially, want to put him in that class of rookie drivers along with Austin Dillon. And they're comparing all of them drivers to people like Joe Logano. And let's be honest, Joe Logano was in a Joe Gibbs car. And what did he do in a Joe Gibbs car? Shit. Now, Larson's driving that number 42 Target Chip Ganassi car, which historically hasn't been that great a car. And when's the last time you could think about a Ganassi car almost going for the win at a track outside of Talladega or Indianapolis or Daytona? Never.
It's been a long time. And you spoke of Dillon and Kyle Larson. I was lucky enough to be able to go to the Mudsummer Classic last year at Eldora with the Truck Series. And man, watching Larson and Dillon drive those trucks in that race on the dirt for the first time, that's something that TV just can't show you, how those guys wheel those vehicles. And man, those were the two outstanding drivers of the night. And it's like, if you can drive those big, heavy-ass, overpowered trucks on dirt and be successful, and Dillon won and Kyle Larson damn near won the thing, there's no surprise that, guys like that can be successful in NASCAR, because you can have that kind of car control, you can pretty much do anything you want.
And Texas was testament to that, because having a look at Larson's car is just phenomenal, especially midway through a run when that balance changes. Just amazing. And I don't know many drivers that can drive that car. Let's be honest, if he was to go to IndyCar rather than NASCAR, he would be getting to a world championship in 2 years, guaranteed.
Well, hey, you never know. If Gene Haas gets his Formula One team up and running, maybe Kyle Larson will end up over there someday, because anything that guy drives, he wins in it.
Could you
Gene Haas F1, Danica Patrick, and Kyle Larson.
Now, I don't know if you guys heard this, but on Sunday, Sky Sports F1 did an interview with Bernie Ecclestone. Now, there's not very often times that I actually watch Sky Sports F1. Not any more times that I actually delay going out to buy myself some food to watching Sky Sports F1. But this Bernie interview kind of intrigued me. And the most intriguing thing about it was that Bernie pretty much said that the Gene Haas thing is happening.
Well, we know that Gene Haas not Gene Haas, Bernie Ecclestone will say things to kind of nudge things along or whatever. I think he knows that an American Formula One team that can be successful will make him more money. And I think he's trying to nudge Formula One along to say, hey, let's make this official. Let's say, hey, this team's approved. Let's get things going. So they can start making money off of it.
Yeah. And let's be honest, there's two people I'd like to see in Formula One. One of them is Haas, and one of them is Dave Richards, who you saw, of course, do the Subarus back in WRC. And if those two were to ever merge together, my God, they would be one of the best teams in Formula One, period. But I think Haas will be amazing in F1. He's got the money, he's got the financials, but also he's got that thing, he just wanted to get results. He wanted to get the job done. And I think that's the reason why F1 will be successful with Haas in F1. Compared to having a bullshit Mauricio, where basically all it is a Spanish investment bank going around not having any logos on the car, and it's just some kind of Playboy thing going on.
Could be worse. Could be HRT.
Oh man, you stole my thunder, Brooks. Horrible racing team.
Oh yes, the greatest F1 team to ever exist.
Well, what's the deal with, since we're going back to crappy Formula One teams really quick, what's the deal with Caterham? Are they ever going to get it together?
I have no idea.
Marussia's beaten them this year.
Yeah, well, this is all the Tony Gonzalez thing, and I think Tony Gonzalez said that if they didn't start getting results, he'll pull out of F1. And also, one of the things that came out of this Bernie interview is that he was talking about customer teams again. He was talking about the fact they need to have more than 26 cars on the grid again. And I think it's at the point that we need to stop thinking about Creator and Marussia. Get 30 cars into Formula 1, get 26 of them qualifying, have 4 of them eliminated from qualifying every single race. That's how you get rid of the deadwood, and that is how you make Caterham and Marussia become competitive. Because right now, they are guaranteed qualification for every single race. They are basically competing for who's going to come P13th or higher. They're not competing for point. It all comes down to who gets the best position out of those two teams, and it's bullshit.
Or who gets the most luck in Monaco and scores 1 point.
Yeah. Essentially, I mean, you always look at Monaco, Australia, and a wet race. And I mean a proper wet race, like someone like Spa, something like that. That's the only place those drivers are ever going to get points. Max Chilton will probably get the point first, because for some reason, he can actually finish Grand Prix, because he's driving at about 75% throttle. He doesn't know that he can press that gas pedal down a little bit further at the end.
Like Mo could do now.
Well, they're not going to implement that rule yet, because they don't want to bring a Gene Haas United States Formula One team into the fold and then have them fall on their face and get, bounced out every race before they qualify. Yeah, maybe they'll have 2 awkward sponsorships smashed together in one car with a zipper.
Yeah. And from Formula 1, we're going to move to IndyCar, because it is the Grand Prix sponsored by a engine manufacturer that's not actually a part of IndyCar anymore.
Yeah, it's funny that Toyota still sponsors that event.
Yeah, it's weird, and I don't know why they allow them to do that, but they do. So it's a Toyota Grand Prix in Long Beach again. I wouldn't mind seeing Toyota back in F1 the same way I'd love to see Cosworth back in F1. In IndyCar even. Toyota back in IndyCar would be awesome. Cosworth in IndyCar would be awesome. The fact that Toyota's keeping that sponsorship going makes me think, well, they're not completely closed the door on that.
I'm excited for Honda to come back next year in F1. That's going to be great.
We're talking about IndyCar now, bitch.
I know.
He's like, I know, and I don't care. He can do
whatever he wants, because it's Raw, Thursday, Raw. Thursday, Raw, Thursday.
Thursday, Raw, Thursday.
Rah.
I mean, we were on the subject of that. That was just a universal topic.
Well, Vincent, we're quickly running out of time, and Justin Petschauer wants to make an announcement.
Go on, Petschauer.
Justin, you got 10 seconds. Go.
I accept the Trost challenge, but I'd rather run it in the DW12 at Talladega.
And there it is. All
He
right,
leaves.
so a bomb has been thrown, a grenade has been chucked at Brandon Trost. He wants to run the DW12 when it comes out at Talladega. Boy, that could be interesting.
To be fair, Talladega will just be a test track as far as the DW12 goes.
How fast do you think the DW12 is going to go at Talladega?
140 miles an hour, no faster.
No faster.
It'll be slower than the IRL because of the way the downforce works. And I think that overall that car is not going to need to do more than 10 laps the way that we run it in the IRL 09. So that's my professional opinion. I'm waiting for Ryan Northag to prove me wrong.
Whoa!
Shots fired.
And on that note, it's been 1 hour.
It has been 1 hour. We can stay online for another couple of minutes. Talk about the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Go on.
Somebody referred to it, a friend of mine referred to it as the, is like the snore at the shore. He thinks that this race is going to be pretty boring. I don't know. The Long Beach tends to bring out the wackiness in people. I mean, Takuma Sato won the race last year. It's a race everybody wants to win. It's kind of one of those granddaddy tracks.
It's the Monaco of IndyCar.
Yeah, so I think you're going to see a lot of hard charging and some stupid moves, but at the end of the day, I think Will Power's going to win this thing again.
Yawn.
Will Power's got to build them points up because when they get to those double point ovals, he's going to be screwed.
Yeah, true story that is. But at the same time, Simon Pagenaud, for example, Marco Andretti, potentially, if he's remembered what
Marco Andretti is not going to win on a road course. Give me a freaking break.
Yeah, true. Sebastian Bourdais, you've got Ed Carpenter, Mike Conway even. You've got Takuma
Ed
Sato,
Carpenter's not even
James
running.
Hinchcliffe. You've got a ton of people that can win that race, and also Elio Castroneves seemed to be good last time by. Dixie, Canaan, and Ryan Briscoe weren't that bad. I think there's 7 people that can win this race.
But you just named like 17 people.
I think
because
it's a good
I think that
possibility.
out of them, a lot of them can get top 5s. I think only 7 of them can actually win the race.
I
Okay,
think
fair
that
enough.
Montoya might have a shot, actually.
Who?
Montoya.
Who?
Who?
Juan.
What?
Cool Whip?
Juan.
What?
Juan.
What? Thursday, Raw Thursday.
It's Thursday, Raw Thursday. Raw.
So lots of racing going on this weekend. Also, we very quickly need to talk about double points in F1 before we go off air. They're thinking about scrapping them, finally.
It's about time. Get rid of them. It's a joke.
Yep, I completely agree.
Brian France bribed Bernie for that.
Fuel flow is, of course, the big thing over in Formula 1 right now, but in WEC, the fuel flow regulations for the opening 3 rounds of the 2014 World Endurance Championship have been adjusted in favour of the petrol-powered LMP machinery. And that means that the Toyota TS040 hybrid and the Porsche 919 hybrid have been granted more energy per lap and larger fuel tanks in the final equivalence of technology table published by the rule-makers at the FIA and the Automobile Club de l'Ouest ahead of the WC Opener at Silverstone on April 20th.
Well, they really want somebody to be able to challenge Audi at Le Mans, don't they?
Yeah, they do. The thing is, by the way, it's my birthday the week after Silverstone. If anyone fancies sending me some money so I can go down to Silverstone, I'll give you a report afterwards.
If somebody sends me money to fly over there, go to the race, all expenses paid, and come back home, then I'll give you some money.
There we are. Send Dave
Give me
Judson over to
some
the
money.
UK. Sort about the money. Sort about the dum tee duddy dee dum.
No. I was doing a Spinal Tap song.
Money.
Give me some money. You know that movie, right?
Yeah. If you want to give me some money or Dave some money, just feel free to do so. There we are.
There we
Look,
are.
can we slip in about another 90 seconds of NASCAR?
Yeah, go on.
No.
I heard it.
I like how I said no and he listened to me.
Yeah.
It's now the David Will Show.
Well, it's on the forums. Dylan White posted it. Dogecoin to sponsor Josh Wives on All-Star Weekend.
Nice. They're
As
sponsoring
well?
on the All-Star Weekend now, too?
Wow.
Yes.
Many wow. Such a maze. Wow.
This is awesome. Dogecoins are
he'll
worth.
win the
All
fan
right,
vote.
what's the correct
Where will all the
pronunciation?
martyrs go when the virus cures itself? And where will we all go when it's too late?
I call it Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. According to the Reddit post, it says Josh Wise needs our help. We have the chance to get the Dogecoin car into 2 more races, so there could be yet another 3rd race.
Well, okay.
Well, the 3rd race would be the
apparently,
All-Star.
someone has just talked to me on Facebook. It's Doggy.
Doggy coin.
Yeah, I call it
It's called
Dogecoin.
Can we get some
people call
doggy
it
coins?
Dogecoin. I think anyone who calls it Dogecoin deserves to go and slit their wrists.
Can we get
I
can we get Doggy Coin to sponsor the show?
Could you who knows Reddit?
Dogecoin?
Who knows Reddit? Whoever knows Reddit, get a thread going for the Will and Dave show so we can get much sponsorship.
Many sponsorships, such awesomeness, many wows. Wow.
Will and Dave show wants to have many wows.
And if we do that, we might bring you more. Thursday! Raw! Thursday!
Thursday, Raw Thursday.
Thursday! Raw! Thursday!
Thursday, Raw Thursday.
Thursday! Raw! Thursday!
You know, Will, if we are actually sponsored and make some money, we could actually legitimately use sound clips because we could pay for them.
Yeah, true. Rather than having WWE trying to kick our ass for a show that happened over 15 years ago.
That's
Well,
right.
it would all be scripted anyway.
Oh! Yeah, it might be scripted. However, Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker.
Yes, he did.
And also, Antonio Cesaro is the new Paul Heyman guy. CM Punk is no longer still in WWE, so on and so forth. Paige beat... have you seen a photo of Paige, Dave?
Who, Diamond Dallas Page?
No. Paige is in the new WWE Divas Championship.
No, why do I care about the Diva Championship? They don't have bra and patty matches anymore,
she's
so who
beautiful,
cares?
and B, she's from Her Majesty's United Kingdom.
Soviet Socialist Republic of Great Britain.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't have time to call Geico this week.
Oh, fuck it. Someone give me the number for Geico. I'll stay up until we do it.
No, well, you need to get your beauty rest. We can do it next week.
Right, there's your photo of Paige.
Whoa.
There we are. So that keeps us on air for another 10 minutes.
She's right up your alley with the black nail polish and the jet black hair and the leather pants.
She used to actually come out to the ring to Linkin Park and faint, and that was one of the few albums by Linkin Park that I still like.
Alright, Will, are you going to call Geico?
I'm going to call Geico. I found the phone number. Should I call their general phone number or should I call their claims phone number?
No, don't call claims. You don't have a claim.
I have a claim. I was hit by a pig and boots and pens and boots and pegs and boots and pens and boots and pegs.
A pig hit me.
Yes.
While singing a song.
Yes.
While checking to see if his Geico bill was paid on his Geico app.
And then a horse-drawn carriage came from behind me and hit me.
All right, call the claims. Now, Brooks, we got to be quiet because we can't hear the conversation, but
okay,
our
am I
fans
calling
can
sales or claims?
Call claims. You'll probably be on hold for 20 minutes, though.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, it wouldn't work because of the fact that I haven't got a number. So, 00.
Sure.
There we are. I will call up their sales department and say, can I get still insured if I get hit by a pig?
Thank you for calling Geico.
Make sure you mention the boots and pants
If you're calling in regard to a claim, an accident, or emergency roadside service, press 1. If you would like a quote for a new policy or to restart a canceled policy, press 2.
I'm on hold.
To set up, to insure your personal auto, press 1. For business or commercial insurance, press 2. For motorcycle or ATV insurance,
Do you want a motor vehicle
for
or a
home or
bike?
renters insurance, press 4. For watercraft,
Bike.
including boats or jet skis. If you've had a Geico motorcycle or ATV policy that has been canceled within the last 6 months, press 1. For a quote on a new motorcycle or ATV policy, press 2. Your call is being transferred to a licensed sales agent. To help us best route your call, Please provide the 3-digit area code of the phone number from which you
Can
are
I have your
calling.
area code, Dave?
44060.
selection. Your call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling Geico. This is Shane Lester, your motorcycle specialist. How can I help you tonight?
Hi there. I am calling up. I've just moved from Her Majesty's Socialist Republic of the United Kingdom, and I'm moving to America next week.
Okay.
And I've got a motorcycle. I'm wondering if I can insure it through Geico because I've seen those pretty ads with the pig saying boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants, and also the Geico on a boat. I was wondering, can you insure my motorcycle?
Yeah, I'll look at all that here for you tonight. So you said you're moving next week over here to the United States?
I am, yes. I did ask the person who kind of bundles things together. I think her name's Flo, and she kind of annoys me. She got that really irritating high-pitched voice.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll get this all worked up for you here tonight. Very interesting that you're moving over here. That's very exciting for you. I'm just going to get a little bit of information from you,
Okay.
and then we'll go ahead and we'll talk about your bike some and all of that. So when you come over to the United States, you're going to get a U.S. driver's license?
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to get myself a US driver's license. Of course, I've got a full UK driver's license at the moment. And I'm going to bring my bike over from the United Kingdom and also get a new bike as well. Because let's be honest, I want to have one of each because apparently US bikes drive slightly differently.
Okay. I understand. So you're getting another bike when you get over here too?
I will do, yes.
So you have all right. So you have 2 bikes. So you'll get the multi-policy discount for having both bikes with us.
Okay.
So because you're keeping both bikes, right? You're not gonna sell the other one that you're coming over here
No,
with?
I'm going to keep the one that I have from the UK. It's a Honda 750cc, so I don't want to get rid of that, to be fair.
So you're bringing that one with you, or you're leaving that one
No,
there?
no, that one's coming with me, and then I'm going to buy one in the US as well.
All right, I got it now.
I mean, to be fair, let's be honest, if I'm going to be stuck in traffic jams at 30 miles an hour, I don't really want to be driving a 750cc bike because the gas price is going to be extortionate on it, so I might as well just get a bike that will just do what it needs to do for the road.
Yeah, I hear you. Save that money on that gas. Any way you can save money, right?
Correct.
Correct. All right, so who am I speaking with tonight?
My name is Lloyd Botten, that's Botten. Before I go any further, can I just ask you a silly question?
Uh-huh.
Can I use that Geico app that I've seen that pig talking about to renew my car insurance?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And after I complete my my insurance, do I get that ringtone that pig was talking about? The whole thing of the boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants, or do I have to buy that off iTunes or what?
That I am not sure of. I will find out. I don't know if they have that on that app or if you'd have to get that from iTunes, to be honest with you.
Okay, because the only reason why I come into Geico is because of the fact that I want that that ringtone. To be fair, because that's the thing that got me with you, and I want to have that. I want to have that ringtone.
Okay, I will figure out how to get you that ringtone, man.
Okay.
I'll work on that. So your first name was Lloyd, right?
That's correct.
L-O-Y-O-D?
L-L-O-Y-D.
And do you have a good email address so I could email everything over to you when we're done here today? Okay.
It is LLOYD at youshouldhavepaidmoreattentiontomyfirstname.com. Thank you. Bye-bye. There we are. That's Geico.
So what happened there at the end?
Oh, he couldn't spell my name properly.
What did you say your name was?
Oh, it's my former name. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, officially on the Will and Dave show, you have now revealed my second of 3 names.
Wait, you have 3 names?
Mm-hmm. I told you this.
No, you told me you had an original birth name, but
Yes,
you didn't
and then
tell
I
me
got
there was
adopted.
a second name.
And then
okay.
I hate my adopted parents, remember?
So, your original birth name was what?
Mark Rimmer.
Mark Rimmer.
Brimmer, not Rimmer.
Rimmer.
That is B as in B, and R as in R, and I as in I, and A as in... I don't know how to spell my original name, to be fair. I've got to go and get my
Okay, so what was the second name then?
My second name was Lloyd William Shariah Botten.
Seriously?
Yes.
Who gave you that name?
My adopted parents are middle class. They read the Daily Mail and everything.
So then you decided to change it to Will Vincent?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. My adopted parents, it was like watching Fox, even though my adopted mother was black.
So you just went
They even show commercials?
How did you pick Vincent? Like, where'd you come up with it?
To take a piss out my adopted parents, what I did is I took my adopted father's first name, as in his name was William, got rid of the Ilium bit, then thought, fuck it, I haven't taken enough away from it yet, got rid of the second L, then took my adopted mother's maiden name, which is Vincent. There we are.
So your legal name is Will, W-I-L.
That's correct.
So when people call you William, the joke is on them.
It is. I mean, my joke is, of course, because of the fact that I'm dyslexic, I walked into the solicitor's office, and you've always got to put the surname first, then the first name second, when you do the whole stupid fucking change of name deeds. And I ran out of time by the time I got to the second L, and I didn't really want to pay an extra hour solicitor's fees, because let's be honest, they're all money scabbing assholes.
Because you ran out of time, that's why you only use one L.
Yep.
And
I want to call
note,
Flow up now. Progressive.
No, come on. You got to do one at a time. Save it for next week. We got to give the viewers something to tune into.
Progressive.
Then we can call KFC customer support. Ask them
Do they have a customer support?
You should call KFC and ask them why they don't have biscuits in England.
Yes! Yes!
See, that's the kind of stuff we should be doing out here.
Oh, God, yes!
Boots and pants.
Contact us to KFC, by phone. Oh, no, KFC.com.
No, we gotta find a phone number.
No, I've got KFC UK, and I don't want to call KFC UK, because they'll probably be closed right now.
Just go to google.com so you get the American stuff, not google.co.uk.
.co.uk.
Okay, KFC contact. God, they're still using ASP. International contact, global site. No, I want to call America.
America.
Fuck yeah. United States of America. Okay, now it's just sent me back to the original fucking homepage. What the fuck? I can send a sponsorship request to KFC.
Yes!
The Wayne Day Show, proudly sponsored by KFC. Could you imagine?
Hashtag how do you KFC?
How the fuck do you KFC?
That's what she said every
Oh, wait. 041. No, that's the Australian KFC.
For God's sake.
Okay.
Australia's connected to the rest of the world.
KFC Ohio contact.
What?
I found one.
Probably gonna
KFC.
get
Where's Akron? How far is Akron from you, Dave?
Akron, only about an hour.
Okay, you're never going to like KFC ever again after I do this.
Okay.
I'm calling it now.
You're calling a specific one in Akron? Oh, God.
Darling. Go KFC slow.
Thanks for calling KFC, Waterloo Route. This is Daryl. How can I help you?
Hi there. I just came in from the United Kingdom, and I'm wondering, do I need to KFC the same way in America as I KFC in the UK?
I can't hear you. Speak up, please.
I say, I'm just calling from the United Kingdom. I flew into America 1 week ago. I now live in Akron, and I'm wondering, do I have to KFC the same way in the US as I KFC'd in the UK?
Again, I mean, your phone's breaking up or something.
Okay. Do I need to KFC in the US the same way as I KFC in the United Kingdom?
You sure do.
Okay, the issue is...
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm not finished yet!
Okay.
Okay, in the UK, we have fries. In the US, you don't have fries. How can I KFC the same way if I don't have my fries?
We have wedges.
Okay, no, but fries and wedges are two complete. Are you expecting me to go to Burger King, pick up fries from there, then come to KFC, order my chicken, and then go and have the two together?
Alrighty. Thanks for calling. I'll pass it on.
No, I'm not finished yet. The fucking bitch hung up on me.
Was she getting ignorant with you?
It was a he. I'm calling him back.
No, you gotta explain that over in the UK that they had Burger King fries and no biscuits.
Oh my god.
I gotta hear the podcast to hear that. Oh, I about threw up. I about threw
My
up.
sides.
Hello?
Oh my god.
Hello? Okay, I think
up
I'm
on
gonna
you
like
already.
a do not ever call me again thing. I'm gonna call him again.
Well, I found it for Urgent Matters 800 number on the KFC site.
Oh! Send it to me.
It is. I already put it. I already put it in there. And it's Akron, not Akron.
Akron.
I moved to Akron.
Did you deliver in the US?
No, there's no.
Thanks for calling KFC. Waterloo Road. This is Daryl. How can I help you?
I want some fucking fries!
Oh my god.
this guy's gonna think, what the fuck?
Wait, you said that to somebody?
Yeah, I called KFC up again.
The Urgent Matters number or the Akron one?
The Akron one. Okay, I'm calling Urgent Matters.
Hello, and thank you for calling the KFC Customer Satisfaction Hotline. To continue in English, press 1. En español, presione 2.
To continue in English, I had to press 1. Is this real English or American English?
If you are a KFC employee, or if you are calling to verify employment, please
not Her
press 2.
Majesty's the Queen English.
If you are calling regarding location information for the KFC restaurant nearest you, please press 1. If you are calling regarding KFC franchise information, donation, sponsorship, gift certificate, or company information, please press 2. If you are calling for product information, please press 3. If you are calling regarding a recent visit to one of our KFC restaurants, please press 4, and a customer service representative will assist you.
I'm pressing
Please hold
4.
while we connect
I'm
your
holding.
call.
Why did you have to press 4?
Because that's what I had to do.
Hi. Thank you for calling our customer care center. For quality assurance purposes, this call may be recorded.
This call might be recorded.
Excellent.
Oh boy. That'd be great for a training session. Here's what you do not do.
One.
Say the phone number is, like when you called it.
I don't have to put in the phone number.
No. When you called it, what did it say?
Welcome. Hello.
We are experiencing higher than usual call volumes.
Experiencing higher than
In
usual
order
call
to share
volumes.
your
Apparently, a
comments
lot of people want to know how I like
immediately,
KFC.
please visit www.kfc.com
People call that number and scream at
and
them?
click the
I don't
Contact
know.
Us page. Your comments will be forwarded to
Did you listen to
management
that bit in the
immediately
podcast?
upon submission.
No, not yet.
Thanks for calling, and we appreciate
How many
your
people are
patience.
ahead of you in line?
I don't know. Did they tell me how many people are ahead of me in line?
On some support sites, yeah. I don't know if
Wow.
KFC does it on
I'm
other
looking at a
platforms.
photo of Flo right now.
Oh, for God's sake, why not Paige?
Paige is
Why don't we
amazing.
call Burger King and ask why we don't have fried chicken there?
Why don't you guys have biscuits?
Yeah,
Yes. We try to be healthy.
Here. Why
Thank
do
you
you
for
have
your
biscuits
patience.
and I
A
don't?
guest representative will be with you momentarily.
Are there biscuits at Burger King in
No.
England?
No.
Where are the biscuits in England?
Nowhere.
Damn socialists. Socialist pigs. Still on hold.
I am.
Oh, I love the music.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you for your
patience.
patience.
A guest representative will be with you momentarily.
Well, I thought you said you only had an hour tonight, and you've been on 24 minutes longer than you said.
Yeah, I know that one. Oops. I should set my alarm now, shouldn't I?
There's only 3. Can someone teach me how to KFC?
That has to be like a parody of Teach Me How to Dougie.
Teach me how to KFC. Teach me how to KFC.
I'm going to ask her how to do that.
Oh, God. Why is this taking so long?
I don't know. How do people have issues with chicken?
Ugh. We're losing it.
We're waiting for the DW12 at this point.
What's going to get answered
DW12's
first?
gonna come
Us
out
or the
first.
DW12
The
getting released?
DW12's coming. Dude.
Please hold. Your DW12 will be ready soon.
Well, see, you got Sean Siff in front of you asking why doesn't KFC serve turkey? Raw Chicken Thursday.
Are you calling
Oh,
from,
music
like,
change.
Skype?
Yeah.
So can you like play sound clips in there?
Where will all the
No.
waters go when the virus
Should have
cures
played like the stroke clip or
itself?
something.
And where will we all go when it's too late?
Cut it,
Thank
cut
you
it,
for your
cut it, cut
patience.
it.
A guest representative will be with you momentarily.
We can only play 4 seconds of fair use clips.
I have a flat rear tire.
Did you ever find the Felipe Massa unbelievable clip?
I haven't
Okay,
seen
Felipe.
that.
I'll
Answer with hashtag how do you KFC.
Tomorrow night on Massive Oreo Blue Jays.
You still on hold?
Do they taste so good at KFC? This is Gabby. How may I
Probably
help
some
you?
drunk guy in there.
Good evening there. I moved over to America. I moved to Indianapolis literally about a week ago, and I'm a little bit confused because you have this advertising thing going on about how you KFC. I watch NASCAR all the time, and I think you do a great job supporting NASCAR. It's one of my favorite sports, but I'm a little bit confused about how I KFC from the UK. The issue is, in the UK, we get served fries with our KFC. Now, I tried to go over to a KFC in the US and ask for some fries, and they looked at me funny, and then said that I talked to a funny accent, and they started laughing at me. Now, I'm a little bit offended by that, because I think my accent's not that bad, but more importantly, I was a bit confused as to why I can't get fries at KFC.
Why are there no
All right,
biscuits
so well, I do want to, first of all, on
in
behalf of
the
the company,
UK?
we want to sincerely apologize for the poor behavior of the employees. Here in the States, we do provide the signed items per region, there's certain areas that, prefer or sell higher on certain side items than other areas. I know some areas do provide fries as well as the potato wedges. So and that location might have just been one that does not provide the fries, but they should have potato wedges if you still wanted some type of, like fry.
Okay. I've had the wedge. I ended up having the wedges. There, I had some wedges and I had some biscuits, and the wedges, they're nothing like the fries. I mean, it's one of those things over in the UK. It's like, you get chicken, you get chips with it, or as of course in America it'd be fries rather than chips. But it was normally generally chicken and fries, chicken and chips, however you want to call it. And I'm just a little bit confused. I mean, long term, is it the sort of thing that you don't serve fries at many of your locations at all? Then do I have to fall in love with biscuits or gravy or mac and cheese or something else instead?
Yeah, unfortunately, as I said, it's regionally. So, that particular KFC probably doesn't provide the fries, but one maybe like a block or two down might have fries. It just depends on the area. But if you'd like, I can definitely make a report in regards to the behavior of the employees, and also suggesting that fries be added to the menu.
Yeah, that would be really useful actually, because I say I'm in Indianapolis, and I kind of go to the store. I'm going for a while now because I'm on a diet before we go to Indianapolis for the Motor Speedway. But it was the one in Prospect Street in Indianapolis.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up. I have quite a few. Prospect was it near like Spruce and Everson?
That's the one, yeah, 1501 Prospect Street.
Okay. And this was originally carry-out, dine-in?
It was carry-out.
Carry-out. And when was it that you visited the location?
This was last Wednesday.
Okay. Do you remember around what time?
It's kind of mid-afternoon. My time clock's a little bit confused, but I think it was around 2:30 your time. It's really because my business idea, I kind of still have to work in US time and UK time at the same time.
Okay. Alrighty. So that was April 2nd, around 2:30ish.
Yeah.
And did you happen to get the name of any of them?
I really didn't. I'm really sorry.
No, that's fine. And I like your accent, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and make note of that, and also the suggestion to add the fries to the menu. And if you wouldn't mind, if I could get some of your information.
Of course.
Your first name?
It's Will.
Okay. Your last name?
It's Vincent. That's Vincent.
Your phone number?
I still use my UK number. Is that okay?
Is it?
You can still ring it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 0044 7921
Okay.
282.
That's too many digits.
Okay. So that's 004479 212
588.
588. Okay.
That's right, yeah.
Is there an alternate phone number or an email address you'd like to provide as well?
I can give you an email address if that would be helpful.
Okay.
Yes, that is Will, but that's with one L, not two.
Mhm.
Dot Vincent, Vincent,
Okay.
at GlacierTV.com.
Okay. And your zip code?
You know what? I really don't know it off by heart. I think it is 46205.
Indianapolis, Indiana. And your address?
I tell you what, I really still don't know one off by heart. Do I have to give that one to you now, or can I?
No, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so first name again, W-I-L-L.
Yeah, it's actually
Last
with one
name?
L, just to be nice.
Okay. Your last name, V-I-N-C as in cat, E-N-T as in Tom.
That's right, yes.
And then the email address is wil.vincent at, and I don't think I spelled this right, G as in girl, L-A-C-I-A-T-V.
Oh, it's GlacierTV.com.
Oh, Glacier. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. We say it different ways.
That's fine. Alrighty. And did you at all attempt to notify, alert, or address this issue with anyone at the location?
I didn't at the time. No, I was kind of rather embarrassed about the entire situation. I know it's not your fault. I just felt it was a little bit confusing, and I was rather upset because it's the first time I'd been to KFC in America, and I was kind of looking forward to it, and then it kind of all went a bit south.
Alright, so well, I do want to again sincerely apologize for that, and we do definitely appreciate the chance to work on this matter to make it right. And following our conversation, I am going to notify the appropriate persons of your call and forward your comments for further action.
Okay.
And is there anything else that I could help you with?
No, that's all today. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. You have a nice evening.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye. She likes my accent!
Well, Vincent, did you get someone in trouble?
I probably did.
Steve, you're fired.
With this net, we can do anything on the internet we want to do.
This is proof that you can do anything on the internet that you want to do if you listen to the Well and Day show, which we don't have any fucking idea when this is going to be on from this time forward. However, we have proved that if you know how to use Skype and Google, you can get people from KFC fired, Dave.
Well, you're gonna cost some poor person their job, and they're gonna have no idea what happened.
How many KFCs are there in America?
A lot.
How many Burger Kings are there in America?
Like 5,000.
How many Taco Bells are there in America?
Less than Burger King.
McDonald's?
A gazillion.
White Castle, especially in Indianapolis. I know what a White Castle is in Indianapolis. Sonic? Yeah, how the fuck do you Sonic?
With roller skates.
We know there's an Arby's.
Yeah, but you never had Arby's. It was Hardee's.
We know where Hardee's is as well.
Oh God, this is gonna
Down
be
south.
bad. Are we wrapping it up?
I think we are.
Of all my podcasts, this one was the most recent.
I really need a piss right now.